Status, let me fetch everything. I saw a few commits. So what happened? Sipke on the theme branch, images, some pull requests from Siaman to fix MySql support. So now it's working back again. Oh, this is sad that we have it in dev only. We could have put at it 110x. Yep, we should put it in 110x. Let me file an issue. GitHub and ping. Siaman, new issue. Siaman. ReturnUrl in the OpenID actions pull request, which was merged also on Thursday to support returnURLs from the OpenID actions. In 110x, use compose to make code stronger and consistent. Yes, this is one method in the content information manager that should use the compose method. I assume it's also checking some values. Ensure anonymous user access logon, same thing, a pull request from info from CA. This is his username, Andy. Replace markup-embedded pipe delimiters. So this is Daniel who worked on gulp, and I didn't even check. So Daniel.
I'm here. But it has nothing to do with gulp.
Okay, markup-embedded. Oh, because I saw pipe, and I was like, okay, that must be gulp. Pipe delimiters with CSS in admin. Okay, what did you do? What did you do?
Basically, there's a bunch of places where we have very convoluted if statements just to get all the pipe characters between the action links in the right places and hidden and shown. So I got rid of all of that and replaced it with adjacency selectors in CSS and just rendering the delimiters with styling instead.
Okay. So in terms of translation, I assume that's fine. All the pipes are equal in every language. And
yeah, the pipe is not really a language character. It's just a graphical.
Well, it was also for. It was a way to be able to replace it also to use a translation, but that's fine. I mean, if there is a CSS, that's okay. And well, I don't assume people will change it. I don't think so. And in terms of right to left, if it's in a CSS, I assume it will also work because we can even override that for right to left. And that should not even impact it because it's between elements. Okay.
Yep.
Action, link, action, before. Yeah, even right to left, that will work. That. Okay, good. And it looks the same.
Yep.
Okay. So maybe something to do also on Orchard core, because I also do that sometimes. Pipes, action link. Something I saw, and just a comment because you don't write it, you just applied it the same way. You see here we have HTML link, and a dot text. Whenever we have to do a dot text, there's something which is wrong. In this case, there might be double encoding because dot text will be encoded and link will encode the string. So there might be double encoding. So this is kind of wrong. This is not just mentioning it here because I see it was, I saw it here. Just for the next development, never do that. Use the tags instead, because then we can define if it has to be encoded or not, or we can use add t and not call dot text. That's the only thing. Good, thank you. Replace the word remove with delete where appropriate. Lots of opinionated changes. Delete.
Yeah, basically, I think there's a common convention in software wording that the word remove is used when you remove something, but you keep the object somewhere else, and delete is when you actually delete something at its source. So
and
we do a bunch of deletes, and we do a bunch of removes.
Here
so
it's
not the same.
But you realize that in this case, it's a remove. Because we are not really deleting the items, we are just unpublishing everything. You see, when we do remove, so I didn't write this thing, but I assume it was called remove on purpose, knowing that there was also a delete verb in the English vocabulary, and they chose to use remove.
Actually, it looks like somebody at some point, and I didn't check the history, but it looks like it was called delete from the beginning, because all the action methods are, in most places, are called delete.
Yeah, but
anyway, I think we're confusing two aspects. So the fact that we never really delete, but we just unpublish, that's sort of an implementation detail of the delete. But we still have a distinction between that and a remove. For example, if you remove I don't know, let's say if you remove a media item from...
I see what you mean. Yeah, okay. Removing from a collection. Yeah, it's removing from a collection compared to getting rid of something.
Yeah, exactly.
Destroying something. No, it's still there. Removing is still there. It's just unlinked or unassociated to something.
Unlinking is more. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's the way that it's recommended in the Microsoft glossary, also for recommended terms in software.
We don't follow any recommendation. We
It's
made
the
our
only
own.
recommendation I've ever seen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, somebody will do another commit and change it to remove. Don't worry. At some point, move edit action to draft action groups. Okay, and that's fine. Did you apply also the same thing on Orchard Core, or I saw something like this? Okay. You see something here. Item edit link, and yeah, see the text. Not just mentioning it here. You're good not fixing it. That's fine. Okay. Core content editing and publishing UI. Again, I thought we had already improved it.
Well, there was an open issue on the subject anyway. This is about the fact that, and I always found this confusing. So if an item is not draftable, then the publish button goes away instead of the save button. It should really be the save button that goes away, and the save button should be named save draft.
Again, yeah, I think it was an intentional decision to say, call it save, and it will actually publish because there is no draft. Like the default is save and publish is just the optional thing, shifting the concepts, I understand. But
the way that it works now after this change is that there's a save draft button, and there's a publish now and a publish later. And if it's not draftable, then the save draft button goes away.
Yeah, that's what
I think that's
Core does.
Much clearer.
Also, what we tend to do, I assume, is not to use pronouns like this, you or he. Put the past form like, this content item cannot be edited, or I don't know, you do not have permission. Well, in this case, if permission, so I don't see how to change it. Yeah. So the boolean here is to publish. Okay. The func. What is that? I remember you using that. What is that? Your old GitHub account or?
What?
Decorum is the username of. Is that yours?
Oh, that was that was my username on Codeplex.
Codeplex. Yeah, I was like, that reminds me something. And okay.
This is a very old
Yeah.
comment
Okay.
from
Good.
years ago, I think.
So what did you fix here? Okay. Okay, good. Questions? Where is my window? If you wanted to override the pipe chart, it's easier in CSS. Yes, it's easier. Can we have translated CSS like for that might be interesting to be able to provide. So George mentioned a trick with the translations. Yes, he mentioned a trick to use an English translation, even if English is your only language. You can provide a custom translation to change some wording without without touching the default views from different modules, or to overriding the view completely. You can just use a translation file in the same language, just to replace some translating string. So that's a trick with translation. Can we do some tricks with CSS and translations?
We can do, what you can do is just in any shape template that you have, you can emit some style tag that overrides this rule and just puts the pipe character into a T call, and then that becomes translatable, and you can just apply localization to it if you want.
Okay, maybe there's something to do here.
We could add the capture property to resources as well.
Cool. Yes, because we have shapes actually. So, yeah, look at that. So if CSS are shapes, which they are in Orchard 1, we can add an alternate, and then we can have a CSS per culture. That would work, right? Orchard 1.
I think so.
I guess so, yeah. But the site.css contains everything now, so you would have to sort of duplicate everything else too in your alternate.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. You copy and then you add the stuff you want to change. Because there is no link from a CSS, there is no import in CSS or reference. One day they will have it. Yeah. And just a note, I saw your sessions because I was there, Daniel, and I appreciate the fact that whenever you mention shape, you don't say shape. You say shape template when it's a template, because you understand the difference between a shape and a shape template. So you are carefully using the shape template words most of the time.
I'm glad you noticed.
And I also noticed at some point, I should have noted it, but you made a mistake actually, and I was wondering if you got the difference of some. It was related to shape template, and maybe because when you render a shape, it's not always from a shape template. Actually, it can be a func or whatever. So that's fine. So if you want to go even further, sometimes you should not always use shape template, but shape rendering or binding or something like that. But that's just if you want to go further than just because, yeah. But that's good. That's.
So how does that work? Is it like you can provide the markup in code or?
Very good question. So let me show you. The idea of shape rendering is that when we call display on a shape, let me show you. Shape template provider. no, shape templating binding strategy. That's a shape template binding strategy. So what we are doing, we are defining a func to render a shape. That's how we do. And this guy is just looking for razor files, checking if they can be shape templates based on their location. And they say, oh, this file like foo.cshtml, I can bind for the shape type foo to render this template. And in the end, you will have this. It will discover all the templates and then look for a matching shape and then say, let me see, so found all the hits, the possible, and it says here, describe this shape type, okay, bound as, this is where the magic is done. It says this shape type is bound as render async this template. Okay, this is where we say this type will be rendered by rendering the razor template. It's called a shape template binding strategy. And there are other binding strategy. There is a shape attribute binding strategy, which will call bound as, oh no, not shape attribute, but shape attribute binding strategy, which when it calls bound as, so this thing is looking for all the methods in your shape table providers that have the shape attribute property on the method, and if it finds one, it will assign the execution of this method as the bound rendering template. Well, the rendering logic for this shape. So it's looking at the method info and say, just call this method when you want to render this shape. And you can make as many binding strategies as you want. And another one in Orchard 1 is to look for a template in the database and call the razor template for that. Or you could have handlebars to render a shape. So you just make a binding strategy, how to render a shape.
With this binding strategy, the shape attribute, do you just return a string then from the method?
So in Orchard 1, yes. In Orchard 2, we return an IHTML content. So if I look at, for instance, core shapes, like in Orchard 1, it's a new interface in Orchard 2, iShape attribute provider, and you provide methods like list. This will be how the list shape is rendered using the attribute binding. This one. Okay. So that's how it works. That's why I'm saying shape template is only in the case you are using a template for a shape, but you could use a method for a shape. You could use anything else for a shape. Up to you, from anything. So that's just to mention, if you want to go further than just calling it a shape template. A shape binding is the even abstracter concept.
You mean when you talk about shapes in general and their rendering?
Yes, shape binding, binding. And yeah. So close that. That's it. Status 1. X Orchard 2. Oh yes, Orchard 2. Orchard core. So the thing that is new from this week, not much. What happened? Chantier fixing some things, we merged it. The MVC-less branch from Nick was merged, which means now by default modules don't have to use MVC. They can use nothing or MVC or Nancy or whatever they want. There is an MVC module that you can reference, depend on if you want MVC to be part of your module. And then your app, that's fine. It has been merged. Then master, that's it from last week. This is a fix from Jean-Thierry. And then Visual Studio 2017 was released today. I had prepared the branch to migrate to Visual Studio 2017. I also at the same time fixed this thing, so like this thing here, where is that? Yeah, Lucene, the Lucene module is now called orchard.lucene to keep the convention, orchard.everything. I reorganized the project a little, not too much. Let me show you. This is there is some difference between before and now. So this is how it looks like in Orchard core. Okay, I renamed some folder. I haven't renamed everything, like the namespaces and everything. I just moved things around to make them more easily findable or organized. So this is the main project, orchardcore.cms. I removed the .web. I added Orchard core. It's important also to see the file system. Where is the file system? Projects, Orchard 2. So we have SRC. Under SRC, we have Orchard core, which contains all the libraries that are necessary for Orchard core. Okay? So they are just libraries, they are not modules, they are libraries, abstractions and implementations. Then we have web projects. We have the CMS web project, the MVC web project, and NC web project. Each web project contains the modules. And the main web project is the CMS web, which contains modules, which are the SAS modules and the CMS modules. Okay, this is like our main folder for all the modules that we ship in Orchard core and or the CMS to develop. When they will be actually shipped, they will be shipped as NuGet packages. Okay, so you're not even supposed to have them in your project. You're just supposed to reference them from your Orchard package. So it's just the development solution, the Orchard core development solution. This is not the solution you should use to develop a CMS or a SAS application. Then go back here. In this project, a sample project, there is one module inside, and same thing for the Nancy one module inside. Okay. VS Code folder to run it. I haven't moved. I know Daniel asked me to move the solution in SRC, and I actually saw that on ASP.NET they actually have the solution at the top level and have the SRC in a test folder. So I didn't move until we want to move it, or everyone agrees on that. So I was not sure, so don't touch anything if not sure. What else? Here the solution is organized this way. I have the folders with all the packages that are needed. Modular is just the things that allow modularity. Hosting, so this is the same as before and all the modules there. So same as before, it's just the Orchard core folder appears here. These are the modules, okay, in a solution folder. These are the modules for the CMS in a solution folder. Physically, they are under this web project, which doesn't show the modules or the themes or anything. Sample web app. So that's the organization. What's left to do that we have already decided is to rename all the projects. Let's see here. Orchard core dot something, and if they are from modules like the modules, so the projects, for instance, if they are for CMS, we can have Orchard core dot CMS dot something. That's what we decided. And for the modules, I'm not sure if we add .cms or something. Like these ones are SAS, so they will be also Orchard core dot whatever. And for the CMS, yes, there might be also Orchard core dot CMS dot contents, Orchard core dot CMS dot body, Orchard core in one word. And the namespaces will be changed also. But it can be done in a later step, once we have merged many pull requests, which will be broken otherwise. So that's the that's Visual Studio 2017, the release, the RTM, and that works. Antoine tried it also this morning, and that worked good. And
Sebastian, so you renamed orchardcore.cms.web, and you got rid of the .web suffix in the project, but not for the folder.
No.
Why not?
Well, I will. It's just I was reorganizing the thing just to an idea. I didn't change everything.
Oh, okay. All right.
But if there is no objection with that, I will go on and do all the changes. I just didn't want to change too many things and people say, no, I want it to go, you see. So just to have an overview of what it's done. We can always change it later. I'm just changing too many things will break too many PRs. And I want to break a minimum of PRs. But I think it's simple enough. And it's just a development solution. We could have also multiple solutions. And if you want to create a new website based on Orchard, then you should not, it's different than Orchard one. You create a new project and you will reference one package, either Orchard Core or Orchard Core CMS, and it will reference all the NuGet packages that are necessary, and then you can add modules in your folder. That's the idea. Yep.
Would it make sense to have the third folder from the top here, the one that's called orchardcore.modules.cms? Should it perhaps be the other way, orchardcore.cms.modules?
Yeah, probably. I did that too. I also had that at one point, and then I reverted to that CMS because modules, then CMS.
Okay, I see. Yeah, because all the projects will be orchardcore.cms.
CMS, yes, but then I could just one folder modules and use the, I don't know. It could be a modules folder.
It looks cleaner this way when they're kind of next to one another. Yeah, I agree.
This is the easy part because it's just a solution folder.
Virtual folder. Yeah.
Yes, we can change it as we want. It's very light. It doesn't impact anything in your PRs or anything. So yeah, we can change this one as much as we want. And we will change it many times as we create more modules and want more folders. I don't know. I even like you see, for instance, if I go to Orchard Core, sometimes things are the same. Like you see, environment. Should we create a folder for environment? Should we create a folder for data? Should we have some of them in different solution? I don't know. So just virtual folders. So far, I tried to do less impact and make it just simple to browse.
Is it necessary to have the modules nested underneath the web project, or could they?
Yes. This is necessary until the NuGet package. This is necessary because we have views, which have to be under the. Yeah, we can't find views outside of the web project.
Yeah, and all the CSS and everything.
That's the issue. And once we have NuGet packages, even in this case, they will create some views and CSS and assets under the modules folder. So when you reference the NuGet package, some content will be added to your modules folder or to your themes folder.
Right. Yeah.
No choice. There is a solution, which is to embed the views and the styles and everything in the assembly also. This is where we can also pre-compile the views and have them in the assembly. That works. The assets, that doesn't work. We still need to copy them, the CSS and the scripts and everything. So, yes. And also by extracting the views, that gives you a reference view to be able to copy it in your theme. If we had just a compiled view, you will not see the source.
But it would be nice, actually, if the project file for a module and the source, our artifacts and everything was in one folder outside of the web project, and then the NuGet reference would bring in only the things that are required at runtime. And when you publish, you only get that stuff and not the source.
Repeat. The source. Well, you don't get the source, or you get the views and the scripts.
No, you do, right? Because if the module project is nested underneath, if you publish the web project, you get everything underneath it, including the CS project files and the source files and everything.
No.
Oh, you don't?
No, the goal is when we publish the modules, these ones which are under the modules folder, there will be one assembly and the views folder and the content folder. That's it. No source code, no CS proj, and that's it. That file. That's it.
How does that happen?
What happens? Creating a NuGet package?
No, but if you publish the parent web project, how does it exclude all that stuff?
Because it's in the. Let me show you. Maybe I misunderstand your remark, but this. We say ignore that completely.
So, all right, I see what you're saying. But then what happens to the CSS? And that would be excluded now also.
Yes, here. So what we need to add in our rule is to include to include the views and the assets, right? In this case, it doesn't work. We have never tried to publish, but yeah, in this case, to publish from this solution. But the goal again is not to use this solution to publish. This is just a development. We should do it for sure to be sure that it works in this system. But the idea is when you develop an orchard site, you create a new solution, you create a new web project, and you reference a meta package that will just link to NuGet packages and copy just the views and everything. And they will be there by default in your solution. You will see them. You will see the modules folder and you will see the views and the contents from your modules folder and your themes. You just won't see the source of these modules and the CS proj and everything. And then when you publish, it will publish all these files because they are part of the content files and the binaries, which will be in your bin folder, already precompiled. And you can even run view precompilation because the views are there and they can be also precompiled as part of your deployment.
Okay, that sounds awesome. Can you show that at some point, maybe in the next meeting or so?
Well, that's something I was working on actually also with the NuGet packages, because I might have to file some issues on the NuGet side because some things don't work as expected or were not reliable, but it might also have been some early VS 2017 bits bugs. So I will try to test it again. But I have a solution I can show you. Where is that? Projects. Maybe this one. Yes, also I have a solution with maybe not this one. Where is that? Maybe in my temp. I have a solution with a NuGet module that I can pack. Let me show you where I deployed it. Actually, I have it there. So, what is that? Temp. You see module 1. Oh, this is the modules. Yes, let me show you. New. Okay. That, and I also have a package content. This is my fake, not this one, brochure packages. Not this one. Oh, I have a folder, package content. I don't know. Orchard to feed, yes. That's a fake NuGet feed to test that it works. You see orchardcore.helloworld, so it will be a module. And the module itself, let me show you the content, contains binaries, okay? And also contains, you see the modules folder, hello world module, views, and manifest, and or content. So these files will be copied to your project when you reference the module in the modules folder, okay? And only that. And the library will be added in the bin folder. Well, technically it will stay in the NuGet cache folder and referenced by your web project. And this is how you build the modules. You just create controllers and views and everything, and you just mark them as content files in the new spec file, which I can have somewhere. Where is my new spec file? My new spec file is actually, that's something I was working on. Also, it's in the bin, in the obj, new spec file, NuGet here. Oh, new spec here. You see, this is where you say that this file is a content and has to be copied into the web project. So we'll probably have some tooling with Orchard to say, okay, pack this module, pack this theme, and it will automatically create the new spec file to create the module package. That's the idea. Work in progress. Okay. We'll see. It will work. Good.
Yeah, good. Still not clear how you would publish a whole site, though, to me.
Oh, then we have the website, right-click, publish.
But you said that wouldn't be the way to publish.
Not from this solution. I'm showing you a project. Don't think it's the project that you will publish. You will have in your solution a project that you call with your website name. You reference NuGet packages. So all the binaries from all the modules are referenced, okay? And because you reference NuGet packages, which are modules, the static assets will be visible here in the modules folder, in the themes folder. So modules / hello world / views / foo. And these things are content. So when you publish,
that project doesn't have to contain the modules, the source of them.
It just
bring
compile.
them in.
Yes.
Yeah,
because it's a NuGet package.
Gotcha. So you would have to create that project and then just add a reference to every Orchard module that you want in your site?
One Orchard module. Yes, every Orchard module you want in your site, exactly. Or we will also create a meta package, it's called. It's a package which just references other packages. We will call one Orchard CMS, Orchard Core CMS, which will reference all the modules that we know from the Orchard CMS. So from your app, you will just say add manage NuGet packages, you find Orchard CMS, and it will add a reference to all the Orchard CMS modules and the SaaS thing. So we can create multiple meta packages based on what you want, or you can pick up the packages you want manually one by one.
I got it now. Beautiful.
From the NuGet gallery, or any other gallery, your own gallery. Your folder, which can be a NuGet gallery. This is what I did here. I don't have a web project here, that's weird. I don't have a NuGet file because that's, oh no, I must have configured my main NuGet configuration to also point to this folder, because a folder can be, you see here, can be a package repository. And you put NuGet package here. And yep, so that should work. I'm just working on that. So my goal is ready for April to be able to ship this experience. I create new project from a template or not, and just say use modules and add NuGet packages for modules, and then ship and boom. SaaS or CMS. That's the goal. Did I miss anything on the chat? Not this chat. Where is my note? Quit. This one, breakage change, nothing. Nope, nothing. Okay. So Orchard 2. Yes, so what I will do today, I will merge the VS 2017 branch into a master. So from today, if you want to work with Orchard, to use Orchard, you will need Visual Studio 2017. Okay? It won't work with Visual Studio 2015. And it works with the community version of Visual Studio. So I was just waiting for this meeting before merging, in case anyone had something to say for not migrating to Visual Studio 2017, but not apparently. Orchard Core. Questions?
Would it be all right to merge the Cache Buster PR?
Yes. Does anyone have something to say about the Cache Buster PR that we saw last week? Then go.
Thank you.
Topics. Topics. oh, what I'm working on right now is, you might have seen it, I'm working on media management. So first thing to do for media management is the storage providers. It's called iStorage provider in Virtual One because I like to change, and that's what we do. I call it iFile Store. Can change. See, storage provider, whatever. Can change it, just a name. And I took almost everything from the storage provider in Virtual One. I'm just adding the try versions of the copy, move, delete things, but it's mostly the same. I just removed one or two methods which are conflicting with, like we had a copy file and a try copy file. Didn't really make sense to have the two of them. The combine now takes the params of strings. It's better than having just two, because our combine just had two. I have a get file, I have a map file. What is interesting is the I file contains more things, but it's kept simple. So the idea is to abstract like the media folder, something that is available on the web app, but you can abstract how it's stored on the file system or blob storage or anywhere. Okay, database. That's it. So it's not really file system because it can be any kind of file store, but it's still a file store, and it has to have a public version of the file. It's free to, yeah. And we can't use the iFile provider from ASP.NET because it has things that we can't implement, like the path changed, and it's missing many things to actually change the file and have public URLs and things like this. So it was really done for the Razor views and local file system files, not to store on blob storage, for instance. So I'm doing that for now, just to prepare the media module. It's necessary for the media module. So if you have comments to do on the design issue and the media module, please share them. Actively working on that. That's it. Other topics? Does or has anyone have had issues with leaking authentication cookies, like a user will get authenticated as another user randomly?
You mean like lately or ever?
Lately and ever.
Well, so yeah, I had that problem a few years ago, but it wasn't about the authentication cookie. It was about the session state being mixed between users.
The session state.
Yeah.
Sessions, like as in sessions?
Yeah, one user would get another user's session. Yeah.
Might be related. Might be related actually.
Okay. Well, it turned out to be a bug in ASP.NET, which they fixed through Premier support.
Might be related because how sessions are assigned to user is through a cookie. So if you have the same cookie value, the session identifier, then you will get the session from someone else, if that was a bug. And the identity will be the same thing. If you have the authentication cookie from someone else, you will be authenticated as someone else. So if at some point, you see, so yeah, if you could send a pointer.
The problem we had was because the cookie got mixed up, the session cookie.
What do you mean by mixed up?
I mean, the source of the problem was, as you say, with the cookie
that
identifies the session.
So if you can send me a pointer to the...
Oh my God, it was like 10 years ago.
10 years ago? Okay.
Yeah. I don't think I could find it.
Nothing else, yeah. Okay.
Why are you having problems with that now?
Customer has an issue. And not trying to understand what's happening.
I'm always, when you say customer, like, do you mean Somebody who bought Orchard? Or?
No. Sorry, a user or company using Orchard extensively has some issues like this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to understand where it's coming from.
Okay.
Might be Orchard. I don't think it's Orchard, but I want to understand where it's coming from to be sure that it's not Orchard.
I've never seen it in the context of Orchard.
My idea is that the set cookie header is cached by something, and then another user gets a page and gets the cached request and gets the cookie which has been cached.
Yeah, the header could be cached by a middleware,
Yes.
like a proxy somewhere.
Yes, that's the idea. And so in Orchard, I know in output cache we don't store cookies. We just store the HTML body. So it can't be Orchard output cache. Okay. And also we don't cache anything that is a post request or that has no cache headers and things like this. So in this case, I look at the code and it's fine. So there must be something in the middle that stores it, and that's what I'm trying to look at. But maybe there's a bug in Orchard and we never saw that. But I checked the code and we don't do anything with cookie, but just vary by cookie value or vary by header, just to create multiple entries of the HTML based on the values. We are never sending cookies from the cache. So I don't, trying to find out. Okay, so it's not a widespread issue, or never seen that. Good. Okay, other topics? Then that's good. Okay, let's end now. Thanks everyone. See you on Thursday for the ones who join.